should you get the iPhone 8 here in 2025? So the iPhone 8 came out back in 2017, which was almost 8 years ago. And in this video, I'll be explaining to you whether or not it's still worth buying almost 8 years later. So first, I'll be talking about the design of this device, and then I'll be explaining to you whether or not it's still worth buying and what the specs are like on this device. So first off, the iPhone SE does have a very portable design. You can see it's actually pretty small, especially compared to if we bring the iPhone 6 Plus, for example, which is the same size as many modern smartphones. And that makes it very portable. However, one downside is the fact that the screen is very small, so it's only 4.7 inches diagonally, while most modern smartphones nowadays are about 6 or 7. Now, unfortunately, this device doesn't have a headphone jack, and it does still come with the Lightning port. It doesn't have the USB-C like the newer iPhones have. So that's all there is for the design of this device. Let's now talk about the specs. So starting off with the speeds, this device comes with 2 GB of RAM, and the iPhone 8 Plus actually has 3 GB, so the Plus model is a bit faster than the regular. And for comparison, the latest iPhone 16 Pro has 8 GB of RAM, and as for the chip, the iPhone 8 Plus has the Apple A11 chip, and that goes for both the iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus. And for comparison, the latest iPhone has the Apple A18 Pro chip. So the iPhone 8 does lag behind a bit with its speeds. So if you plan on keeping your iPhone long term, then definitely reconsider getting this device because it won't last you that long. It's just not fast enough to do so. And that's all there is for the speeds. Let's now talk about the cameras. So the front camera and the back camera are a bit different. So the front camera is 7 megapixels with the photos, and the rear camera is 12 megapixels. And as for the video quality, the front camera can record at full HD at 30 frames per second. And as for the video, the front camera can record at full HD at 60 FPS, and the rear camera can record at 4K at 60 FPS. And overall, I would say that the camera quality is pretty good. It's good enough for social media, so if you want to post photos online, then it's definitely good enough for that, but it's not going to be anywhere close to what you have on the latest iPhone 15 or the iPhone 16 Pro. So the next thing that we need to talk about with this device is the storage models. So with the iPhone 8, you get 3 different storage models. There's 64, 128, and 256. And as you can see, the one that I have here has just 64 gigabytes. And the storage models go for both the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, another feature that we need to talk about is the display. So the iPhone 8 has a decent display. The screen resolution isn't that high. It's 750 by 1334 pixels. It could only play up to HD videos, but because the device is so small, it actually doesn't matter that much. So like I mentioned earlier, it has a 4.7 inch screen if we measure it diagonally. So overall, the display isn't an issue on the iPhone 8. Let's now talk about the battery life. Now this is where the iPhone 8 does struggle quite a lot. So it has an 1800 mAh battery, and for comparison, the latest iPhone 16 Pro has a 3500 or about 3700 mAh battery. So the iPhone 8 isn't anywhere close to that. And from my own personal experience, it does last me the whole day without charging if I don't use it too much. And if the battery does become a huge concern, then I would recommend going for the iPhone 8 Plus, which is going to cost you just $20 more. So the iPhone 8 costs you about $70 if you get it used, and the iPhone 8 Plus would cost you about $90. So should you get this device here in 2025? Well, my answer is no, and that's because there are a couple other iPhones that I would suggest getting much more than the iPhone 8, and that is the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone SE 2. And the reason why I really don't recommend getting the iPhone 8 is for several reasons. So first off, there's the battery life, and like I recommended earlier, if that becomes a huge issue to you, then you could get the iPhone 8 Plus instead. And also, this iPhone does have 2 cameras on the back, so there's the 1x zoom and there's a 2x zoom cameras. And that's why I would recommend going for the iPhone 8 Plus instead of the iPhone 8. And another suggestion that I have would be getting the iPhone SE 2 instead, because this device does still get the latest iOS updates. The iPhone 8 right now only has up to iOS 17, while the iPhone 8 Plus has the latest iOS 18 updates, and it will still get the latest updates for at least another 2 or 3 years. Also, the iPhone SE 2 is a lot faster, so definitely don't go for the iPhone 8. I'll have reviews for both of these iPhones down in the description, so if you're interested in those, make sure to check them out. And that's really all there is for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I come out with new content.